Hello, I'm Benny Fluman, founder and CEO of MATCH B2B. In the next few minutes, I won't be walking you through slides. Instead, I want to share what happens beneath the surface when a B2B company enters a new market and transforms reputation into meaningful business conversations. For over 25 years, I've collaborated with B2B companies in technology, manufacturing, medical devices, professional services, academia, and international markets. The pattern is often the same. The product may be exceptional, but the market remains unaware, lacks trust, and has no compelling reason to engage. This is the challenge that Match B2B was created to address. One of the most costly mistakes in B2B is mistaking activity for pipeline. A company can be bustling with activity: LinkedIn posts, email campaigns, conferences, webinars, CRM efforts, SDR outreach, and even paid ads. But when I ask, where is the pipeline coming from? The response is often just a collection of unconnected actions. The core issue isn't the absence of effort, it's the lack of a structured approach. In international markets, this challenge intensifies. Buyers often don't have inherent trust in your brand. Before they engage, they need context, confidence, and consistent professional signals. We do not begin by asking, how many messages can we send? Instead, we ask, who is the buyer? What do they care about? What risks are they trying to reduce? And what proof would convince them to consider a foreign supplier, a new solution, or a new partner? Only after understanding these factors do we create the data, content, outreach, and follow-up. This is the key difference between a campaign and a client acquisition system. A campaign focuses on who can we contact. A system focuses on what must this buyer believe before they engage. Match B2B is essential when the sale involves complexity. If a buyer can make a decision in just 5 minutes, this architecture may not be necessary. However, when the buyer is an engineer, procurement manager, CFO, CEO, distributor, hospital executive, or senior operator, the decision goes beyond mere features. It revolves around risk. Can I trust this company? Will they deliver on their promises? Do they truly understand my unique situation? Will this choice enhance my reputation or put me at risk? This is where reputation and pipeline must align seamlessly. Most companies focus on outreach as their starting point. They seek meetings, leads, and responses. However, outreach is often the final visible step, not the initial strategic move. Before a senior buyer engages, they typically review the founder's profile, the company page, the website, content, credibility signals, market relevance, and whether the message feels personalized. This highlights the importance of a solid architecture. Strategy, data, content, outreach, and sales development representatives must work in harmony. If any layer is weak, the entire process becomes unstable. The AIDA model is essential because it highlights that buyers don't leap straight to action. First, they need awareness. Next, they develop interest. Then, desire builds up. Only after these stages do they take action. Many companies make the mistake of skipping the initial 3 steps and rush to request a meeting. However, if a buyer lacks awareness, interest, or confidence, that meeting request comes off as random. Our role is to foster an environment where the commercial conversation feels logical, relevant, and timely. The B2B buyer journey often begins quietly. It starts when someone notices a post but doesn't engage. Next, they come across an article that piques their interest. After that, they explore the founder's profile, seeking credibility. They might then read a case study that showcases success. Finally, they receive a tailored message that resonates with their role. To an outsider, it may seem like a single response, but in reality, it's the culmination of multiple trust-building interactions. This is crucial for small and mid-sized companies entering the US or European markets. The initial challenge isn't just capturing attention, it's overcoming perceived risk. One reason we combine multiple channels is that buyers do not limit their behavior to just one. According to McKinsey's B2B research, decision makers now utilize 10 or more channels to engage with suppliers throughout their buying journey. This means a buyer might see content on LinkedIn, visit a website, read an email, attend a webinar, consult a colleague, and only then respond. Therefore, the crucial question isn't whether LinkedIn or email works. The real question is whether all these channels convey a unified business story. The first month is crucial as it helps prevent waste. Many companies rush to market with weak positioning, unclear ideal customer profiles, generic messaging, and incomplete data, only to blame the market later. In our setup phase, we take our time at the start to ensure faster execution later. We define the buyer, refine the message, build the database, prepare the content, and set up the necessary tools. Once we launch, the market provides valuable feedback. Who engages, who responds, who ignores us, and which approach drives results. Let's take a more realistic B2B situation. A company sells one solution into one organization. On paper, it looks like one ideal customer profile. But inside that organization, the buying process involves multiple stakeholders, each with their own logic. The fleet manager focuses on operational reliability, vehicle downtime, and daily control. The finance manager prioritizes total cost of ownership, budget predictability, and ROI. The project manager is concerned with implementation risk, timelines, and internal adoption. The CEO looks at strategic value, scalability, and how this decision supports growth. It's the same product, but each stakeholder needs a different type of confidence. This is why content cannot be generic. It must translate the same value proposition into various professional languages. An article may explain cost reduction for finance. A short video may illustrate operational simplicity for the fleet manager. A webinar may assist the project manager in understanding implementation. A case-based post may help the CEO recognize the strategic business value. This is the complexity Match B2B manages, transforming one product into several relevant entry points, ensuring each member of the buying committee receives the information that guides them closer to trust and action. In many B2B companies, the real leakage occurs not before the campaign, but after the first signal. This can be when someone accepts a LinkedIn connection, replies to an email, clicks on a link, asks a question, joins a webinar, or expresses interest in receiving more information. Many companies do not recognize these actions as leads, but in a robust B2B system, this is precisely where a lead begins. The individual has already shown a signal and provided context about their role, company, market, and sometimes their pain points or timing. If no one takes ownership of the next step, the opportunity simply vanishes. This is why the SDR layer is not a separate activity. It is the crucial link in the acquisition system. It bridges the awareness generated by content, the relevance built through LinkedIn, the continuity established by email, and the business logic derived from ICP work. The SDR does not replace the sales team or close deals, but ensures that relevant signals are managed, qualified, followed up on, and advanced toward a demo, sales call, or meaningful commercial conversation. For companies aiming to calculate real ROI from this process, this layer is essential. Without it, you may generate interest, but fail to convert it into a measurable pipeline. The right service layer depends on where the company is stuck. Let me give 3 typical situations. The first company has expertise, a good product, and a serious management team, but lacks market presence. The founder's LinkedIn is weak, the company page is quiet, and there's no professional content. For this company, the first layer is essential. Build presence, credibility, and authority before seeking meetings. The second company has some presence. People understand what it does, but there's no consistent demand creation, no structured outreach, no clear campaigns, and no systematic LinkedIn or email efforts. For this company, the second layer is needed. Turn presence into market conversations. The third company states it wants more than visibility or conversations. It wants measurable demos, qualified meetings, opportunities, and ROI. Here, the full pipeline layer is the right fit, as someone must manage the bridge between signals and sales outcomes. A LinkedIn acceptance, an email reply, or a webinar attendee isn't enough on its own. They need qualification, follow-up, and movement toward a real sales conversation. So, the question is not which package is bigger. The question is, where is the company losing growth right now? In reputation, in demand creation, or in converting signals into measurable pipeline? We measure the system in layers, because relying on a single metric can be misleading. Impressions do not equal pipeline. Connections do not guarantee opportunities. Replies do not always indicate commercial intent. That's why we examine the entire chain: acceptance rate, reply rate, positive replies, active conversations, SQLs, qualified meetings, opportunities, and pipeline value. The goal of measurement is not just reporting, it's about learning. When one persona responds while another does not, the market reveals where our message resonates and where it falls short. In a medical device manufacturing project, treating the market as a single list would have been a critical mistake. The market is diverse. R&D engineers require technical confidence. Procurement managers prioritize supplier reliability and risk reduction. Operations teams focus on continuity, delivery, and process stability. To address these needs, we built the system by persona. Our initial target database included hundreds of relevant contacts, featuring a significant number of R&D engineers alongside procurement and operations roles. The emphasis was not on volume, but on relevance. Even a small conversion rate can validate the entire system when the average deal value and lifetime value are substantial. Reputation is not just something we build for our clients. It's a key reason clients choose to work with us. Over the years, clients have consistently valued strategic thinking, creativity, practical execution, and the ability to link marketing efforts to tangible business outcomes. This is crucial because, in international B2B, theory alone won't suffice. You need a partner who understands the dynamics of the real market. What messages buyers overlook, what they trust, what generates resistance, and what sparks meaningful conversations. Match B2B is built on a powerful belief. International growth is not a matter of chance. It thrives on a system that seamlessly connects reputation, precise targeting, compelling content, strategic outreach, diligent follow-up, and measurable sales conversations. This is our DNA. We prioritize progress over mere activity. Our focus is on engaging the right buyers, fostering meaningful conversations, securing qualified meetings, and creating valuable pipeline opportunities. Our engagement model embodies responsibility. We set clear targets from the outset, and if we don't meet those targets within the agreed timeframe, we continue our efforts at no extra cost until we do. This is more than a commercial promise. It reflects our partnership mindset. We believe in our system and stand firmly behind its execution. If it requires additional time and effort to achieve the desired results, we embrace that challenge. Additionally, in Israel, companies may qualify for support through the Ministry of Economy and Mayoff programs, and we can assist in exploring these options in a separate discussion. If you're looking to penetrate a new market, initiate serious conversations, or transform your reputation into tangible opportunities, we're here to help identify any obstacles in your current process and recommend the right system for you. Thank you for your time, and I wish you great success in your market endeavors.